Good evening. So let me go over the next chapter. Chapter 48, 2012. So on their way back to work, this being Erica and Michael, they stopped by San Mateo County Assessor's Office to pay the property tax. Then they went to work at the Athletic / Adaptive Fitness Center. Things were bustling at the studio at the first staff meeting of the year. They were preparing for the Endometriosis Awareness Month in March. Erica put a flight together for her next research project and posted in front of the front lobby area of the clinic. This time, she took her time getting the volunteers. Tria Satch was instrumental in helping her get research subjects from the East Bay, as in Tria Satch Murphy Sr. was instrumental in helping her get research subjects from the East Bay. Because this time she's doing her research specifically on African Americans, how they feel about health education. So at some point they went together to the East Bay once a week to recruit subjects. Also during their weekly support group meetings, the endometriosis support group, Maria did announce that her daughter, Rianne, Erin for short. Apologies, I'm not really good with Irish names. She was turning 18 years of age that year, and she will get surgery to get the official diagnosis of endometriosis. Chiaki offered to help since she has both endometriosis and is trans, because they suspect Erin has endometriosis and she is trans. So Chiaki offered to help because she's already gone through this whole process. And there's a lot of things that she wants to make sure that the next generation doesn't stumble, make the mistakes that she made, and plus it's really difficult because it's not just getting a diagnosis, but unlike other diseases, for example, such as diabetes, for some reason Western medicine insists that surgery is the only way to get diagnosed. Well, how would you know before you have your trans surgery that you have endometriosis? So, yeah, Chucky has stepped up to the plate. She's like, I went through this the hard way. I don't want anybody else to suffer the way I've suffered. I want to make sure that the next generation has does go through the proper channels, before the trans surgery to get diagnosed, get the endometriosis treated, and then let's go over to next step if they choose to go through surgery. So yeah, so Chuck is gonna help there. And then Erica also offered to help by advising, because Erica also went through this process, and by it was Peter, before he passed away, he was the one who said, let's do an MRI scan to see what we're working with, and then boom, it's like, wait a minute, Western medicine says that surgery is the only way to diagnose, yet she got this MRI scan. The MRI scan clearly says that she has stage 1 endometriosis, like ping ping. So they're, with everything that they're learning, they're making their hope is that the next generation won't go through this the hard way. And so yeah, so what Erica is also offering, hey, let's do an MRI scan first. Also, Erica advised having Erin take a gap year before the surgery, so that way she can. So rather than go from high school directly to university, why don't we just let's focus? Let's get the diagnosis first before going to university, so that way once you're at the university, you already know what condition you have. You already got it treated. You already spent that year recovering. So also Erica suggested Erin could attend classes at a local community college, so that way she will continue to learn during the upcoming year. So also Erica advised getting the MRI done before surgery. That way they will know exactly what they're working with. So granted, the results will, now she also said, you know what, this MRI is going to open up a whole can of worms. It's going to open up a Pandora's box. They're going to be really upset when they find out what's going on inside before the surgery. But at the same time, it will help them better prepare, because rather than go through surgery not knowing what the doctor's going to find, let's do the MRI scan beforehand. That way we'll know what we're working with. I mean, it will be a huge emotional blow, but at least you'll be prepared before the surgery, and then it'll help you prepare for the recovery. So at this time, Erica asked whether or not her daughter Erin has ideas on what she wants to major. So Maria listed them all, which is, it's just so typical, when you're in senior high school. What do you want to major in university? They're like, oh, I want to do animation. I want to do broadcast and communication arts. I want to do cinema, media arts. I want to do creative writing. I want to do film. I want to do career and trans studies. I want to do theater arts. So this was Erin's list before surgery. Erica was in awe. She did understand, because she came from the same space. She double majored in public health and theater arts. So when she asked Maria which university her daughter might be interested in, and Maria immediately replied the public university in San Francisco. And Erica said that she thought so, which makes sense. She's going to have the surgery. She's going to spend a year recovering. So just in case, they get the worst possible news, it would probably be better if she just stays in San Francisco, because her mom's there, her older brother is there. Her father can her father and the grandfather can easily just fly in from Australia to San Francisco in case something, knock on wood, something happens. Plus, she's recovering from surgery, there'll be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. At least her mom would be there to help out. So Erica said that she thought so. Should she need additional health care, the clinic can also provide. That's also, because clinic, they got acupuncture, they got environmental medicine, they got nutrition, and in the adaptive fitness center they have physical therapy, they have certified massage therapists who have natural heating abilities. So they got everything in place. So Maria smiled gently. Kim told Maria to let her know what she needs. Also, Kim has also gone through all this whole process as well. So the clinic will give them all the support they need. At this time, the Endo sisters, Chucky, Erica, Kim, Maria, they all have endometriosis. They all gave each other a hug. The Endo sisters gave each other a hug. And then, so that's the clinic side. Now we're going to the studio. Morning she goes to the clinic. Afternoon she goes to the studio. So Lucas is still there. He's offering support because he can see, because sometimes Erica needs time off. Sometimes Maria needs time off. Sometimes Jonathan needs time off. So Lucas is still working at the studio, helping them out. So Lucas, at this time, he worked closely with Erica, prepared for her first one-woman play at the Murphy Art House. Erica wanted to cover everything in her play. However, Lucas kept her grounded, had her focus only on what actually happened as of 2010. Because she's still, in her 20s, she's still learning about who she is, what happened to her parents, what happened to her younger brother, trying to sort all these different layers out. So Her tentative date will be that start date will be that summer. So Erica's birthday, mid-January, they renewed the Costco membership, paid for all the car and pet insurance. Then they went shopping at the warehouse. And both of Erica's alma maters took some classes. Her two universities at the South Bay. Erica took a day off to go down to the South Bay, offered next to the scholarships. When she saw Treasach Murphy Jr.'s name for computer science major and digital media and mass communications minor, she deferred to the committee. Obviously, Treasach Sr. said, "Don't worry about it. We just have if we're fifth generations removed. We have once of the three times two or three times great grandparents to comment. It's not going to be a conflict of interest, but just in case." Erica deferred to the committee. So much to her relief, he did win that school scholarship. So he would get his master's in computer science at the public university in San Francisco. So that's because you can see he's not just going to get a bachelor's degree; he's also going to get a master's. So after his father got the news, Erica offered her congratulations and asked him to let her know what else she can do to help. So he said that his son would return to the studio. Erica said that she thought so. Ashley is Richard's daughter. So Ashley has a trust fund. So she's not going to go through the scholarship because she already has all the money set up through Kim's former in-laws. So Ashley decided to major in psychology, minor in digital media for mass communications. She'll get her bachelor's degree at the public university in San Jose. And then she'll get her master's in marriage, family, child counseling at the public university in San Francisco. During the summer break, she will intern at the clinic. Early April, Erica and Michael filed income tax forms. Much to their relief, they're debt-free. Erica wired all the money from the sale of her father's home to her uncle. Michael paid off all of his student loan debt to his father. So that's one thing done. By this time, the sea urchin harvest was minimal at best, so Erica and Michael joined Alex and Chucky fishing at the public pier. When the seas were calm, they went boating to catch bigger fish. Memorial Day weekend, Kim's niece-in-law. Kim's niece-in-law. So this is the Alloway family. Because after Peter passed away, Peter's actually probably should put make it simple. Peter's niece, her family, and their almost 2-year-old son Aiden joined their community picnic. Since his immune system is still developing, because it takes about 5 years for the immune system to be completely developed, they made certain that all the food that Aiden will eat is thoroughly cooked and the food safety guidelines are followed the entire time they prepared each meal. So in June, Maria's daughter Erin got her MRI scan. It was the worst news. She has stage 4 and she's only 18 years old. Bear that in mind. So that's a lot to take in. So stage 4, you got cysts on both ovaries. There's lesions and adhesions all over the body. So understandably, Maria was beside herself. Kim and Jonathan's wife Marina offered emotional support. The clinic staff worked overtime to help her find the best possible surgeon. And obviously, that kind of news, you're better off having the surgery closer to home, if you assuming that you have the best possible surgeon, especially the Bay Area. There's so many good surgeons. So much to Maria's relief, they found several surgeons in the area. Once they were able to book an appointment, the physical therapist in the adaptive fitness center and your senior staff at the clinic helped both Maria and her daughter prepare for the surgery. So, on the morning of the surgery, Kim, Maria's husband, Shaki, joined Maria and her daughter to the hospital. They knew the surgery would take more than a couple of hours, so they had breakfast, lunch, and dinner at a nearby cafe restaurants. Mid-afternoon, the doctor went to the waiting room, showed them photos that were taken during the surgery, as well as approximately how long it would take Maria's daughter to stay in the hospital. Much to everyone's shock, she would have to stay in the intensive care unit for about a week. Throughout the summer, the senior staff took turns helping Maria help her daughter recover from surgery. They also booked appointments with environmental medicine specialists, nutritionists, physical therapists to further help her recover and adjust her lifestyle. Much to everyone's relief, by mid-August, Erin was able to start going to school at local community college. So that fall, she applied at the local public university. At the time, she narrowed the choice of major to theater arts. So obviously, with stage 4, you're not going to be able to get all those majors done. You're going to have to focus on one. For now, so Maria and her daughter did go to that university during the upcoming academic year to go over her restrictions, so that way, that when the university gets her applications of admissions, they're not going to be overwhelmed with all the restrictions that she has. So, plus, get her foot in the door, let them know, hey, this is who she is. She wants to major in theater arts. This is why they should choose her to be in the next incoming class. And yeah, so Maria and her daughter did go through university throughout the academic year to go over restrictions. When her daughter wasn't in classes, she interned at the studio to help improve her chances of getting admitted. At this time, the daughter decided to get a bachelor's and master's degree at that same university. So by this time, Erica got all the research subjects she needed. She spent the summer coding the data and started writing the next research journal article at the clinic. Ashley interned there because Ashley wants to get not just master's degree in marriage, family, child counselor, but she also wants to get a minor in digital media and mass communication. So Ashley's going to intern at the clinic. Erica divided her time training Ashley versus working on the clinic's in digital media, working on the clinic's website. When Ashley asked about updating the Adaptive Fitness Center website as well, she deferred to Michael, because Michael is the office manager for the Adaptive Fitness Center. Michael was thrilled to have her work on their website as well. So Ashley divided her time between the Adaptive Fitness Center and the clinic. And then ditto for the clinic, ditto for the studio. Satch Murphy Jr. also interned at the studio. To prepare for becoming a junior digital media specialist that summer. So in June, they went to various Pride events with Alex and Chucky. So they being during the month, Erica had 2 live shows of her one-woman play on the first weekend. After the show, she stayed for the audience members to give her constructive criticism as well as support for her play. She took their feedback to heart, wrote down notes for how she can improve the play. At this time, she sold DVDs over documentaries about various Latin American Japanese groups, including Japanese Peruvians of San Francisco, Japanese Mexicans of San Jose, and Japanese Brazilians of Los Angeles. So that way audience members can get a better feel for exactly what Latin American Japanese means. Mid-June to mid-July, Erica and Michael took a road trip to Redwood National State Parks. This time they took Hamali with them. The car ride was almost 6 hours. So Michael made sure to take a break every hour. Throughout their trip, they made sure certain to read all the rules and abide by all of them because there's specific rules each place regarding dogs can come here, dogs cannot come go past this point, and safety rules. Because um, the Redwood National Forest, there's it's not just lions and tigers and bears, it's also ticks. So you gotta be very careful about that. So that being said, Michael immediately said that this is God's country. Erica nodded. By the end of the first day, they spent the night at a hotel in Eureka, California. Since they liked the area so much, they ended up spending the entire week there. They enjoyed downtown, Redwood Forest, Humboldt Bay, cultural hub, as well as historical significance. They also have a zoo there as well, if I remember correctly, if I did my research, but I didn't write that down on there. Next, they spent 2 weeks at Redwood National State Park. During the day, they stopped by visitor centers. At night, they stopped at various campgrounds. During this time, Erica made certain to buy at least one refrigerator magnet to add to her collection. The fourth week, they stayed at Mendocino National Forest. They enjoyed biking, hiking, fishing, outdoor science and learning, picnicking, and water activities. At the end of the road trip, they rode about 3 hours to San Francisco. Although they were exhausted, this was the fresh air they needed and to recharge their batteries. So, mid-July, Kim and Richard took their vacation with Ashley because this would be the last one before she starts university. So, they gotta make sure. In mid-August, they return. At this time, Kim and Richard boarded Halia with Michael. Next, they took Ashley to the public university in San Jose. She was going to live off campus. They took her to one of the Murphy Property Management Company's apartments. It's a multi-story gated condominium with some of the units converted into studio apartments for students as well as recent graduates who are looking for a semi-affordable place to live while they save up to buy their own home. Yes, it's expensive to live in San Jose. Not surprisingly, they bumped into Treya Satch Sr., his wife, and their son, Junior. Their son, too, was moving into one of the apartments. Ashley was relieved to see a familiar face. At this time, the two couples and the two young adults exchanged cell phone numbers. After Ashley got settled in, they drove to Japantown to go shopping, have some lunch. At the end of the day, they drove Ashley and her groceries to her apartment before they left for Brisbane. Before they left Brisbane, Erica gave Ashley a gift bag. The bag had the latest DVD and companion cookbook from Chaki's television show. She added her as in Chaki's traveling cooking DVDs as well, because Chaki goes to England and Japan. They rotate it every other year. When they returned to work, Erica and Kim worked with Jamie and Sophia. So Jamie is the senior community health education specialist. Sophia is the junior community health education specialist. To schedule their health education class at various local schools. When they weren't going to school, Erica worked on the next research journal article. She made certain to not schedule any school visits from mid-October to mid-November because she'll be in Japan, Hawaii, and then Thanksgiving break at that time. Around that time, Erica got her next defensive driver certificate. On her way home, she went to Costco to give them her updated certificate. That way she can continue getting that discount on auto insurance. Friday, August 31st, Jackie called to let them know that she and Alex returned from their vacation. Saturday, September 1st, Kim and Richard picked up Ashley from her apartment and drove her to Brisbane to celebrate Labor Day weekend. That afternoon, they went fishing at the public pier. Sunday after services, they spent the day at Golden Gate Park. And with the respective dogs, on Monday they had the barbecue. That evening, Kim and Richard drove Ashley back to her apartment in South Bay. So around this time, Maria's daughter Erin was cleared to resume going to school and work, desk duty only. At the clinic, she set up a private support group. Erica and Kim offered emotional support. Chalky talked about her journey. She concluded by educating Maria's daughter about how Indigenous Californians treat people who are two spirits. Erin was in awe. Surgery is not a requirement. At this time, she chose to label herself a two spirit rather than trans. Plus, trans is a term coined by people who are heterosexist as well. This will satisfy her traditional family for now. Chucky emphasized this doesn't mean that surgery is out of the question. It just means put it on the back burner for now because she needs to focus on recovering from her first surgery. So Erin agreed. At this time, Erin said that she'll keep the pronoun he, her, she, since the English language is heterosexist and labeled as such. They nodded and respected her decision to call Erin she, her for now. This brought up a very important issue. Even if she used Western medicine to stop her hormones and she didn't go through puberty, it would have prevented her from reaching her potential height. However, going through puberty, it accelerated the disease process. So this is a mixed bag. So out of respect toward Erica's family, Erica and Michael did skip Northern California Renaissance Fair that year. This should be a separate paragraph. Plus, Ashley was busy with university, so Kim and Richard skipped the fair that year as well. So around this time, Erica and Michael were cuddling one evening. She talked to him about what she has realized about her father. It took her this long to realize that her father is a mama's boy who hates his own mother. Moreover, he says he can't lash out at his own mother. He took it on her mother instead. Although her brother hates their father, he's also a mama's boy who does whatever the father does. So at this time, he made a mental note to include information when they visit Japan later that year. Also, Erica added information that is off the record. She's concerned about her mom. With early menopause, it puts her increased risk of health problems later in life. Since she knows her father and younger brother won't take care of her, Erica's worried about what will happen. Uncles and aunts will be here forever as well. She can't impose upon her cousins to take care of her mom, so she would like to propose to her uncles to let her take her mother back to the States so Erica can take care of her. At the clinic and studio, she could help them find temporary placement, And then there's the issue of inheritance. At this time, Erica would like to turn down her inheritance. Moreover, her eldest uncle has cancer. She would like him to keep the money for now. When she asked for Michael's input, he agreed. On his birthday, they had a muted celebration out of respect for her family, who was still in mourning over grandmother's passing. At this time, he told her that he will make a request of her after the 1 year anniversary. She nodded. On Saturday, October 20th, they were to fly to Japan the day before. I go into a store to get some Hickory Farms gift baskets, or gift boxes, actually. She also got a gift basket full of Shiseido products for her mom. Before the end of the day, they boarded Kamali with Kim and Richard. At the international airport in San Francisco, in Japan, Erica called her uncle. Her cousin picked up the phone and said that he'll relay the message to his father. At the domestic airport, her cousin met and escorted them to the fishing village. At the ryokan, Michael paid for their stay. They freshened up. After she helped her aunts prepare the next meal, they asked her to hold off on giving them gifts until the 1 year memorial. She nodded. After the meal, Erica and Michael spent the rest of the day walking around the village. She was stunned at how comfortable the weather was in October. It's not hot and humid. It's not cold and snow-filled. Granted, she knew that she won't be able to just hop on a plane in October and shirk her duties at the clinic studio. This is actually peak season for both of them. However, they let her control her own schedule given her grandmother's passing. So, on the other hand, she knew that they won't let her do this every year. So she made certain to enjoy every minute of this gorgeous weather. Plus, the leaves changing color was breathtaking. And they did see both cats at the fishing village. Erica wondered how long these two cats would hang around. Granted, it was obvious that they were not of this world. No one claimed them, no one fed them, yet they looked the same as they did when they first appeared. so she made certain to enjoy the company however long it may be. Next 2 weeks, Erica helped out as much as she could. When her uncle asked for volunteers to go out fishing, Erica and Michael immediately volunteered. They also went sea urchin harvesting. The fish, and sea urchin actually tasted way better than in the Bay Area. Plus, breathing in the sea air, hearing the ocean waves lap the shore, always almost hypnotic. Michael made sure to leave one upstairs window open so that he can sleep better. But while they're being intimate, they made sure to close the window. At the event, the 1 year memorial, everyone wore black or a somber color. At the cemetery, they carefully leave flowers at the family gravesite, burned incense. Buddhist priest led the ceremony by reading sutras. Afterward, they returned to grandmother's house to eat some of her favorite foods. At this time, family members shared stories about her, shared fond memories. They concluded with family members giving gifts to the people who were in attendance, such as high quality teas and towels wrapped in black and white or silver string. The next day, Erica's family allowed her to give them her gifts. This time, her aunt gave her a cloth bag with washable underwear and some tokon. Erica and Michael spent a week there. At this time, Erica and Michael had a family meeting with their aunts and uncles. Erica carefully told them what she realized about her father. Michael carefully told them he understands their concern about her father. However, he may have a solution, amicable solution. Let's see. At this time, he talked about Sotsukon. When the aunt heard about this, she explained to her siblings. Her uncle thought about it. They talked about what the father would need to do to prepare if he agrees. Once they discussed this, they agreed to bring it up to him. It would mean separate houses for both of her parents. Her father would have to go through an apprenticeship to learn not only how to prepare his own meals, but also be his own housekeeper. This means that he's no longer allowed to take her mother's cooking and housekeeping services for granted. Also, they would have to set ground rules for when he may go into her mother's house and how he may behave toward her. This may be viable because they wouldn't need to micromanage his behavior since he would have his own space apart from her mother. If her father agrees, then they would contact Mr. Alloway, look for the right apprenticeship for her father to prepare for this next phase of his life. Moreover, this would give her mother freedom. She would no longer have to bend over backwards to give him what he needs, and she would no longer have to take baths when it's convenient for him and inconvenient for her. They conclude by telling Erica that she's no longer required to attend the memorial services in early November. Instead, she could visit them whenever it's more convenient for both of them. She nodded. Erica added information regarding her mother's care. It's obvious that she proposed sending her mother back to the States so she can take care of him. But her eldest uncle immediately shook his head. No. Yep. He and his siblings would do more than their best to take care of her. When they cannot or when they pass, they will use the money she wired from the sale of her father's home to pay for her nursing home care. At this time, Erica apologized for the inconvenience. She offered to wire additional money as needed. He said that he'll have his eldest son notify when that happens. That evening before they left Hawaii, her aunt gave her a cloth bag with washable underwear and some tokon. Already did that, huh? Okay. Then Erica and Michael spent the final week of their vacation in Hawaii. Erica called her uncle at the domestic international airports in Japan and Hawaii. He picked up the phone. The one year mourning period is over, so Erica enjoyed some pina colada with white rum. At this time, he asked whether she would consider going to Japan from mid-June to mid-July, moving forward. The reason is he would like to see other parts of Japan while they're there. Again, she nodded and he breathed a sigh of relief. When they returned to San Francisco, he called her uncle one last time to let him know that they arrived safely. That evening, Erica told Michael how much she appreciates all of his help during these past 12 months. Since this was Thanksgiving week, she spent Thanksgiving Day with the Murphy family at the hotel. At the gathering, Erica noticed something intriguing. After its tray set, Murphy Jr. talked with his parents. He went over to the table that Ashley and her family were sitting. It made sense. Both of them are attending the same public university in San Jose. They have the same minor. Digital media and mass communications. So that weekend, when they went theater harvesting, Chia said joined them. Alex and Chiaki were also intrigued. When the tide was high, they taught him how to safely fish from the public pier. That Sunday, Ashley and Trey Hatch Jr. returned to the public university in the South Bay. Now, Maria's daughter, Erin, was well on her road to recovering from surgery. However, Maria made sure that she only cooks. Maria made sure that somebody else carried the food from the hotel kitchen to the banquet room. With the blessing of the Murphy family, Alex and Chucky ate with Maria and her family that day. In terms of the surgeon, she will spend the next 2 years going to follow-up appointments. So at the clinic and adaptive fitness center, staff will help her recover with the approval of the surgeon. After that, it will be up to Erin to do what she wants to do next. So Erica and Michael returned to work. Erica spent the rest of the year finishing up research journal article, getting it published. While she wrote the article, she wondered what she could do for the new year. In terms of the studio, she decided to rewrite her play. This would give her time to get over jet lag and focus more on her work at the clinic. Early December, she submitted her journal article to the journal to get published. She spent the rest of the month helping the senior staff close the year. Christmas Eve fell on a Monday, so they worked half day. Erica and Michael spent Christmas Day, the actual day, with his parents in Daly City. Then they worked full time for the rest of the week. At this time, they cuddled on the couch after a day's worth of work. Erica asked Michael what he needs. He carefully told her that she needs to empty her thoughts. She told him that she'll work on meditation. Then he gave her a book on meditation as well as several CDs of Enya's music albums. After he put them on the CD player, they spent the rest of the evening just sitting and listening. Although it was a bit rough at first, Erica consciously worked on just emptying her thoughts. After several weeks of doing this, she was in the zone, and Kamali went from a sitting and staying position to a lying down position. So any questions, comments, constructive criticisms, let me know. I'm asking for clarification, and I shall see you next time. Take care, and I hope you all have a nice weekend. Take care.